What's up guys, Crazy Star Wars fan 108 here, and I'm back with another video. Today I'm here to review Star Wars Rebels episodes Wings of the Masters. And as you can tell by the space I'm in, I'm back in old space because I'm back in town tonight. Hey, so that's cool. I'll make some videos while I'm here, which will be fun. But today's Rebels episode was actually it's really interesting. It's fun. Because we now are seeing the new canon version of what happened to develop the B-Wing, which, as everyone knows, has a toy, has a gyroscopic, cockpit, which is so cool, so freaking cool. The episode focused mainly on Hera, and we had some more backstory with her. I thought the really cool thing was we had to talk about her backstory to her past on Ryloth. But to give a little timeline, what happens in the episode, spoilers ahead. So the Rebels group is going to try to free this planet Abara. Not free them, but bring them supplies to help support a effort on the planet where there's becoming an Imperial blockade, and Agent Kallus has put up this blockade because they know that they're trying to hunt down the rebels, they're trying to take them down and find them. They know that they can't help but to go and help people, so we put up a blockade and we cut supplies from the planet and stuff. They'll come to these people's aid, which is what did happen when they first go through Hera. I was kind of frustrated because Hera is just gonna fly the group and the rebels right into the battle, and they have one blockade runner, the Ghost. I think it was 3 or 4 A-wings, and they go through, and Hera's like, we'll be able to make it through, and they get closer, and then the blockade runner blows up, and they turn and run tail, and they go back. Rex reveals to them when they're talking about figuring out a way to get past this blockade that he has a friend. His name is Shipmaster Corey, and he is building a ship that people could try out, but they want to try out. They have to go to the planet Shantipole. And Shantipole is a planet that basically people say it's a one-way death mission because you go there and there's just no way you're going to escape the planet, which we find out later when Hera and Kanan tells Hera, they have to go do this stuff. When they go to the planet, it's because of the atmosphere, and basically you can't fly anymore. It takes all the power out. You just basically crash no matter what. So they crash land onto the landing pad of this place, and they get here and they meet shipbuilder Corey, and I'm just gonna call him Corey because he's a Mon Calamari, short Mon Calamari. And they're talking. He shows that, hey, I built this B-wing, and at first he tells Harry, you're not a worthy pilot to fly this ship, which I was like, that's really weird. And I'll get into some details about that later, but we'll get to the plot of the rest of this episode. Hera then, and when they're fixing the Phantom, I had to go grab it because I know I had the little ship, and the Phantom, and so they're working on the Phantom, and Hera's basically defending herself, saying I don't think, because he refuses to talk to people through transmission. He's like, no, you got to come here and see the ship, and she's like, if you're going to just reject me, you could have just told me before I came all the way here. Not many pilots would risk their life to crash here on the planet. She talks about her love for flying comes from when she was a little girl on Ryloth during the Clone War, and I was like, man, that's pretty crazy to think about, because then then it's a whole thing I wonder, did we see her at all on Ryloth during the Clone Wars episodes, which is just a whole nother thing in itself. But he basically decides to let her fly it. She flies, tests it out, it's awesome. He also put a hyperdrive into the Phantom, so the Phantom now has a hyperdrive, which, because the quad laser cannon, or laser beam that it can create on the B-wing, it burnt out the power for the hyperdrive. So basically they have to use and attach the Ghost to the B-wing, have it fly off, and then use it to jump to light speed. Meanwhile, while all this is happening, because they're not back enough time, Kanan and Ezra and Rex, because the rest of them are about to make this run again because they're out of time, they need to go and help these people. So they go and have that attack, and then Hera shows up, and they decide to attack as well. But they show up with the B-wing, and the B-wing makes a complete difference, and they're able to go through and save the day, which is awesome. Throughout the course of all these events, then Hera then gets promoted to Phoenix Leader, which was cool because she's it was cool seeing that because of the whole dynamic with that, which would be interesting to see where that goes with her character development. I thought like this episode was a very good episode with a subtle underlining of woman empowerment, which was nice in the sense because I felt like it seemed like Korra was like, no, you're just like a female pilot. You don't look that good. No, you're not gonna fly my ship. But then he thought about it. He's like, no, just because you're this female and stuff. You can. It doesn't matter. You can fly the ship. That's how I looked at it. Now, the most interesting part about this episode to me is when you look at what was in Legend. It becomes really fun when you see the whole grabbing and pulling from the past. So, Rebel Alliance this originally happened shortly after, the full-on development happened shortly after Yavin was one of the ways happened, but then also was when Akbar, when they captured him, when they freed him from the Empire, that he started a new project. And here's the real fun part with it. So, working under Akbar's direction, they begin to start developing B-Wings under Project Shantipole. So, Shantipole, the planet Shantipole now, and it's just I think it's a very interesting dynamic to see the two things in. Corey is a Mon Calamari, Akbar, the most well-known Mon Calamari. Very fun episode. I really enjoyed it. Definitely not my favorite one of season 2 so far, but a very good one. Next week's episode looks like it'll be a lot of fun because the other Mandalorian chick that shows up, and I'm like, that's weird. Especially because we're talking about all this House of Vizsla things and just, I forget how that whole Mandalorian tree goes, but it's cool. Because I feel like season 2 is like, hey, let's bring in all this Clone Wars stuff that you kind of don't know about what really happened to these people, but they could still be around because, hey, not everybody gotta die, because not everybody's that important to die, that they have to die. Even though characters now like, let's say, Ahsoka and Hera and Kanan and Ezra probably have to die, but we'll see. I hope you guys all enjoyed this review. I'll be back next week for another review of Star Wars Rebels and my first batch of Star Wars comic book reviews. Yeah, and guys, bear with me. This is a new review formula for me, so I'm going to figure out how am I going to start to do these, because it's a new experience for me. I haven't done something like this before. When I did review Rebels episodes a few times on Crazy Blackman 108, it was a big thing of just me rambling on forever. But I don't want to make these long videos. I want a nice little short so you guys can enjoy them, like 7 minutes tops. 7, 8 minutes tops. So yeah, until next time, guys, peace, and may the Force be with you always. Bye.